Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Malinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so happy, and if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Today I'm really, I'm so happy. This is one of my happiest days of my life. I just don't know how to say it. I don't know how I can explain it, but I just came into the farm and guess what? Our birds have started laying eggs. I'm really so happy. I was, when I saw an egg like this, I was really so happy. And guess what? I've not got only one egg. I have gotten I've gotten 9 eggs. And this is, ever since I started poultry farming, all the flocks I've had on their first day of laying, I normally get 2 eggs, I normally get 3 eggs, but guess what? This time I got 9 eggs, and this really made me so happy. As a farmer, especially the one doing layers, when the birds start, showing signs of laying eggs, it's reach a point you put the laying boxes, and all of a sudden you just get inside the farm and you bump into eggs. Just know you can be so happy. Farmers out there, you know how it feels now. You know how it feels. It feels so sweet. So I was really so happy. So finally, our birds have started laying. This is a sign, a clear sign that all that we have been doing is all correct, because the eggs are also very yellow. I remember I got one which was on the floor, and I think they tried pecking on it and it had a crack, but they never finished eating it up. So I got it and I put it inside the plate, a pure white plate. Guess what? It is pure yellow. The eggs are really yellow. So that means that all the herbal remedies that we've been giving, we've been saying here that it can give the eggs to have, that it can make the eggs to have yellow yolk, it is all correct. So guys, I remember the first day I told you that let us follow these birds until the day that they dropped in their first egg. And finally, we have reached that day. Those who have followed this channel from the first day of us bringing these birds into the farm, you guys, you remember when I told you, let us see when they will lay eggs at exactly 18 weeks. Then that will show us that all the things we've been doing and talking about is all correct. So finally, at exactly 18 weeks, our birds have started dropping eggs. And today I want us to look at some of the factors to consider to make your birds lay early, or to make your birds lay at the right time. Okay, because throughout this time I've been noting down things that I've been doing, and I was just waiting that if indeed by God's grace the birds start laying at exactly 18 weeks, then I'll have to tell you people some of the things I've been doing that has really made these birds to start laying at exactly the right time, because at 18 weeks is the best time that they are supposed to start laying. Well, you can also give it up to 22 weeks, but at exactly 18 weeks, if you get the first egg, just know as a farmer you have been doing your best. So today I want us to look at some of those factors to consider. So as someone out there who's planning to start this project, please, there are some few things that you must do. It is not all about bringing the birds and feeding them the way you know it. There are some few things that you must do as a farmer that will lead your birds to lay at the right time. Even after when the birds start laying, there are cases where birds will start laying very well, and then along the way they'll drop in the laying. So I don't want you to fall a victim of that, because so many of you sent me comments that my birds were laying and now they're at this week and they have stopped laying. Sometimes it finds that somewhere somehow something is wrong. Somewhere somehow you have not done something right. So I want us, I just want us to be very vigilant and aware of some of these things that you must do as a farmer or as a beginner to make sure that your birds start laying at exactly 18 weeks. Because as a farmer out there, you know how it feels for some of you who have started the project already, and some of you who are really doing it before. You know how it feels like feeding the birds up to 18 weeks and the birds are not yet dropping eggs. Okay, the birds are not yet dropping eggs. And also, you know how it feels like birds starting to lay eggs very well, and maybe along the way they stop laying eggs. So that is what I want all of us to be aware of. As a beginner out there, you must know that. So the number one factor that you must consider, if you want your birds to lay early and continue laying, is choosing the authentic suppliers. Right now, there are so many suppliers of these layers out there. All these birds generally, even the broilers. So many suppliers are out there, but you have to be very wise of which supplier you're going to deal with. I would recommend someone out there to at least use suppliers that many people have talked about, or many people have used, or many people have recommended you to use, because there are some people who will just come in the market, you still don't know the performance of their birds, and you know, you bring in the birds and they will not lay eggs, or they will even end up laying eggs at 22 weeks, 23 weeks, or even when they start laying, the birds will still not perform well. Or even along the way, before birds start laying, they will keep falling sick on and off. Guys, you have to be very, very vigilant of the supplier you're going to use when you're starting this project, okay? I don't want to dictate that use this supplier, use the other supplier. Do your background research and see which supplier you can use to supply you birds when you want to start this project. Another factor that you must consider as a beginner is choose the right breed, okay? If I say choose the right breed, it means so many things. Number one, there are, you know, different types of birds. We have the local breeds, we have broilers, we have croilers, we have then the layers, okay? Choose which bird you can deal in. Choose the one that your heart desires to deal in. Like I told you my story before, I started with broilers, but my initial plan or love was for the layers. So when I started with the broilers, honestly, I did not perform well in broilers. Well, if I say I did not perform well, it doesn't mean that my birds were dying. No. I remember by 3 weeks, my birds used to be super, super big because I was feeding them specifically with only pellets. But, you know, after even when the birds were big, I could fail to get the buyers to buy the birds. Okay? So, sometimes I could even consume my birds by myself. Most of them could just go in my plate. So that's in that way I call it like you know, I was really not ready for broilers. I was just you know lured into broilers by my friends. So since I even didn't have the love for it, even the guts of looking for the buyers was a problem for me. So please choose the one that your heart desires. Choose the right breed. Even now when you choose the layers, try to consider which breed you're going to deal in. Try to do your background check. See which breeds are best for laying or for layers or even for broilers, and you try to look for them and make sure you buy them, and they are the ones you bring to your farm. There are some breeds which are actually even not disease resistant, okay? But for us here, if we talk about disease, we actually don't want to talk about disease, because with the herbal remedies that we are doing, we know for sure these birds have not fallen sick, have not given any antibiotics. So that one, you should not consider it. But please try to choose the right breeds which they will perform well, and you as a farmer, you will end up smiling. And then another factor that you must consider is give your birds high quality feeds and in the right amount. I've talked about this several times, but if you come to Cise's farm, okay, at all time, honestly, you will find that my feeders are full of feeds. Okay, you'll find my feeders are full of feeds. You will find that my birds are feeding happily. You will find that I give these birds the right amount of feeds. I've calculated for you the feed intakes of these birds, so make sure that we consider that. Okay, now these birds that have started laying, per day they should eat 120 grams of feeds. Okay, so as a farmer, you just calculate the 120 grams times the number of birds you have, and you convert it to the kilograms. In that way, it will be easy for you to know how many kilograms these birds are supposed to consume every day. And after knowing that, you have to give these birds this feed in 2 portions. You give early in the morning and then in the afternoon, or before or at noontime. And you have to know that once you say that by 6 in the morning I will be giving these birds feeds, make sure by exactly 6 the birds are having their feeds. And if you say that the second portion will be given at noontime, exactly at noontime, make sure your birds are feeding. Okay, that is the only way that you're going to beat this issue of your birds not laying, or your birds not even laying in the right time. And surprisingly, one of my first eggs is super big, so it shows that at least that these birds, their eggs are going to be big, because even, you know, starter eggs have to be tiny, but for this case, honestly, the birds are dropping very, you know, reasonable size of eggs. So that means that the feeding has been super well. Okay, on top of that, make sure that all the nutrients are available in your chicken feeds. I had promised that when I start mixing the layers mash, I was going to tell you the ingredients I'm mixing, and you get to know it. But I did not do that yet, because I really wanted to see if these birds of ours would exactly lay at 18 weeks without skipping. So now that they have started at exactly 18 weeks, I promise I'm going to come out and show you the feeds I'm mixing from 13th week, from week 13 till now. So you must consider that. And then another thing that you must consider is give the birds enough clean water. Okay, at all time, make sure that your birds have enough clean water. If you can see how I have constructed where I put my drinkers, it's super unique. I had one of my subscribers from Nigeria tells me, Sisi, I just love the stands of your drinkers. But I decided to put them like that because over the years I used to put the drinkers down, and I used to also make this funny bricks for putting the drinkers. But you find that throughout the area where the drinkers are, the birds, it is very wet, and the birds are really taking very dirty water. So I used to have a lot of worms throughout. My birds used to, you know, develop coccidiosis time and again, and you know, it could even affect their performance. And then also under the feet of the birds used to really swell because of the wet house. Okay, because when you're bringing the water, make sure they also do not drop in the farm. If the water keep dropping in the farm, that is how the birds will start taking. Also, you know, they love going to where funny things are. When the water pours, like, they'll all run there to start taking the one which is down. At the end, the birds will develop worms, the birds will develop coccidiosis, even inside the feet will start swelling. So let us consider that. Then it is a must that give your birds water which is free from chlorine. Now, like for me here, I just dug a well down and I just pump my water from underground. That water is very safe for the birds. So as a farmer, you must know that even for the birds to lay big eggs, it takes them to drink a lot of water and clean water for the birds to lay big eggs. You find that you can go to a party, you find that most farmers, if you enter their farms, you find the drinkers are empty. You find the drinkers are empty without water. Birds have the water has got done long time ago, and there is no one there to add for the birds water. Water is very, very important in the life of these birds. And then another factor that we must consider is vaccination. You know, I've been talking about herbal remedies, but remember that I've not told you guys not to vaccinate your birds. Please try as much as possible to vaccinate your birds, because I don't want to tell you that don't vaccinate the birds because you're using these herbal remedies. Vaccinate your birds as it is written in your vaccination schedule. I've told you that whenever you're going to get the birds from suppliers, make sure you get their vaccination schedule, because I understand different companies have different vaccination schedule. So make sure you get the vaccination schedule and vaccinate your birds as it is recommended. I don't want you to say Sise said we don't vaccinate the birds. Please do the vaccination of your birds, and that will be well for you and you love poultry farming. And then another factor you must consider is biosecurity. Biosecurity is super important in poultry farming. Whether you're doing broilers, whether you're doing layers, whether you're doing the local chicken, make sure you consider biosecurity. Do not allow free entry and exit to your farm, because what is carried by those people, you don't know. When your birds get these viral diseases, you will not like it. So try to make sure that you protect your birds from getting Newcastle, from getting fowlpox, fall typhoid, and all these viral diseases. In that way, we shall achieve our goals in poultry farming. And then another factor that I want to emphasize on is give these birds these herbal remedies. I have been doing these herbal remedies for a long time in these birds. I really wanted to discover something, but I've really seen it has worked for me, and I want you also to embrace that. I've not had these birds get any infection, any viral infection. You know, I've not had any issue of coccidiosis, of flu, of cough among this particular flock. And finally, they have started laying eggs, and the eggs are super yellow. I've been telling you that now, like with the turmeric, I told you it makes the eggs yellow. My eggs are really super yellow, very yellow. So please, let us try to embrace the use of this herbal remedies at all time. Even when the birds are not sick, you just give them, you know, these are just supplements. You give them, you choose the days which you can give them. I don't mean you give them every day. You can choose days in a month or in weeks that you're going to give this particular one, and you give the birds. In that way, if we really focus on that, we shall really make it in this poultry farming. And then the last one that I want to tell you as a farmer, I know most of you might be busy and considering this as a part-time job, but as an investor, please make sure you're present in your farms. I don't mean every day, but at least be in the farm. Even if twice in a week or thrice in a week, make sure you're present. Make sure you're present there to see and know what is going on. Even the times of vaccination, make sure you're present at your farm to see what is going on, because during this vaccination, but you can also end up losing birds. So during vaccination, as a farmer, as the owner of the farm, please make sure you're present, because you will end up losing so many birds. Even these workers might not vaccinate the birds the right way, and your birds will still end up getting these diseases. Okay, and then also, where you should be present to know how these birds are growing, to bond with them, to understand them better. Okay, so in that way, we shall be able to, you know, to protect our birds from becoming sick, to make our birds lay at the same time, and to make our birds lay quality big yellow yolk eggs. So for today, that is all I had for you. This is typically from my own experience and is from my heart. I had said that when my birds start laying, all my subscribers and my audience must know about this. So those are some of the things that I've been doing, and I want all of us to consider it, and in that way we shall all love poultry farming. Thank you so much for watching me. I'm really so excited that we've been in this project, in this journey together until today, that the birds have started laying eggs. Please continue viewing this channel, continue giving your compliments, continue giving me all your ideas. I'll be super excited. And if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. See you next time. May God bless all of you. Bye-bye.